Hey there, English speakers. Jesse here. I have a question. If somebody said to you, "You hit the nail on the head," what does that mean? How would you feel? Would you be happy, angry, or just confused? We use idioms all the time, and we don't even realize it. Idioms can be very frustrating to learn because many times they don't mean what the words look like they should mean. But they are extremely useful, especially if you want to build your fluency and sound more natural. And let's face it, we all want to become more fluent when learning a second language. We're going to learn 3 idioms today with explanations and examples. All of the idioms today have a theme, and today's theme is head. All of these idioms have the word head in them. The first idiom, you hit the nail on the head, or you hit the nail right on the head. You hit the nail right on the head. This means that you got an answer or idea exactly right, or I completely agree with what you're saying. And adding the word right just emphasizes your point a bit more. So, if I were to ask you what it means to hit the nail right on the head, and if you were to answer,
to get something exactly right,
I could say that you hit the nail right on the head with that answer. This comes from a literal hammer and nail. We call the flat part at the top of a nail the head. So when you hit a nail with a hammer, the place to hit the nail to get the best results is directly on the head. If you want to drive a nail into a piece of wood, you have to hit the nail right on the head. So, when you want to express that you think someone is exactly right about something, you can say they hit the nail right on the head. Next, to give someone a heads up. This means to let someone know something in advance, or to give them information ahead of time. So, for example, a teacher in school could say, "Just to give you a heads up, we're having a fire drill tomorrow." The teacher's giving the students information so they will be prepared when the fire drill happens. They can be ready for the drill and it won't catch them by surprise. The teacher is giving the students a heads up about the fire drill that's coming. One more idiom we're going to discuss is to think of something off the top of one's head, or off the top of his head, or her head, or my head, or to think of something off the top of your head. What does this mean? Well, if you could think of the correct answer right away, you thought of it off the top of your head. It means to know something right now. You don't have to think very hard to come up with the answer. You know it. You've committed this information to memory. This means that you know something right now. You don't have to dig deep to remember something. It's right at the top of your memory. Things like your name, your country's capital, and other things you'd know right away are things that you could think of off the top of your head. Things you may not be able to think of off the top of your head is information that you've only heard once or twice, and you haven't committed it to memory yet. Maybe you forgot it, and maybe you'll be able to think of it eventually. Okay, so it's quiz time now. I'll give you a situation and conversation. I want you to choose the correct idiom to put in the blank where it fits best. I'll put the answers in the description box below and at Language Galaxy, but no cheating. Here we go. The first situation. Someone asks you a question and you can't think of the answer. You say, "I can't think of it blank. I'll look into it and let you know later." Next, the situation. Your friend missed class today and the teacher gave an announcement that there will be a quiz tomorrow. You may tell your friend, "Just to blank, we're having a quiz tomorrow." Okay, next, the situation. You're in a classroom. The teacher says, "In the sentence, 'I went to the store,' what is the subject?" The student says, "I." And the teacher says, "Good, blank. I is the subject in that sentence." The next situation. You're trying to find somebody's phone number. And you may say to your friend, I can't find her phone number. Do you know it, blank? Good. So answer those questions and find out if you were right. Another thing that's very important to know is why you chose the idiom that you chose. You may say a different phrase than I would, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong or I'm wrong. Language is very flexible in many ways. Many times with language, there's not necessarily only one right answer. One word or phrase could mean different things in different situations. This is why learning language is fun and why it's so hard. It takes time and effort to learn a new language. If you put in those two things, you'll eventually reach your goals. Keep at it and don't give up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.